right, we're only a few days into the year and Goodreads is already telling me I'm behind on my Goodreads goal, and I just don't need that energy going into 2021. I still want to live in the false illusion that 2021 is going to be such a better year than 2020. So far that has proved otherwise. Hi friends, my name is Joel and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today we're going through the books that I want to read in January 2021. Now, it's the very first month of 2021, so I thought I should probably pick some books that are going to set off the year on a high note. And I'm currently reading through The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, so it definitely influenced one of my reading picks this month. And so I'm very excited to showcase all of these wonderful books. But first of all, if you've yet to check out my Twitter nor my Bookstagram, I would highly recommend you go check those out because I post some extra bookish content that you're not gonna see here. And so, first of all, the books that I've been carrying on my TBR for the past few months that I will actually get to this month, whether it kills me or not, is The Guinevere Deception by Kiersten White and The Mime Order by Samantha Shannon. Both of these books have been on my TBR for ages, but because of like events that have happened and just stress and uni and the government and everything like that, I haven't been able to get to them. But this month, hopefully, I shall finally read them. They'll be read before my birthday, I can assure you that. My birthday's on February 11th, so these will definitely be read before then. I've mentioned these a lot in my past TBR videos, so if you want to know what they're about, you can either go check out those videos, or I'll have the Goodreads links in the description down below. Okay, so one of the books that I want to read in 2021 is a pick that has been influenced by me currently reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I don't know, I kind of really like the deal with the devil type stories, and I don't know, it just invokes something in me that's quite, it's just like, makes me dig mysteries and dig like these kinds of Faustian bargains and all that, like with the picture of Dorian Gray, and I don't know, I just really like these stories. And so I chose to read If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Karamura. This one just intrigued me right away. Like, this cover, for one, is just super stunning, and the gold writing, chef's kiss. I picked this up, I think, in my first year of university because I was just really intrigued by the cover. And plus, in Waterstones, there's a buy one, get one half price. And so I think I definitely picked this book up to fulfill that deal. And so, yeah, I just really am intrigued by it because basically it follows a young man who is close to dying and he's told he only has a few months left to live. However, the devil appears with quite an enticing deal. If the man makes one thing disappear from the entire world, he will gain an extra day of life. And so begins like this week of bargains being made, him making things disappear. However, the man will soon learn what is worth sacrificing and what can he live without, because throughout this he's going to push himself and his beloved cat to the brink. And reading the synopsis, I was literally like, to the brink of what? Judging from the title, I'm like a cat and a dog person, and so if they make cats disappear from the world, like those cute furballs, that's gonna be so sad. Like, I'm just gonna be really sad if they do this, and I definitely want to read more translated fiction in 2021, and I think this book would be perfect for a video idea that I have coming up on the channel. If you follow my Twitter, you kind of know what this is. I am just hoping this is able to deliver, and it's only 200 pages, so I think it'll definitely be a quite nice, like, Sunday read, or maybe I'll just read it through, like, a reading sprint live once again, like I did with This Is How You Lose the Time War. But yeah, I'm just really excited for this. I just think it looks so cute and amazing, and I think that translated fiction needs to be talked a lot more about on BookTube more widely, so I definitely am looking forward to reading more translated fiction in 2021. The next book that I want to talk about came in this exciting package a few weeks ago, and so when I was like receiving this, I was like, I think I know exactly what this is, but let me just show you what came in this package. So we got this art print of two dark-skinned black students, and we love to see representation. We love to see dark-skinned people in fiction. It's signed on the back by the author of this novel, a tea bag, because of course this is by a British author, and tea is one of the very staples of our nation, even though I'm not really a big fan of our nation at this moment in time. But nevertheless, tea. It was tea. How can you play the game when the cards are stacked against you? Ready to play? Ace of Spades by Farida Abike Minde, and it is pitched as Get Out meets Gossip Girl. And this proof honestly opens up like a deck of cards. Just look how stunning. Like, this isn't the final cover, but the proof cover is just so gorgeous. Like, I screamed when I received this. It was just amazing. Plus, inside this package as well with all this pink. Like, I might use this for a photo shoot someday. Like, this color is just so nice. But inside this, we got a biscuit in the package as well. And let me tell you, this biscuit, like, that is stunning. That is amazing. I'm enjoying that. So, like, it just looks so gorgeous. And now listen, I have a confession to make. I might be a bit biased when it comes to this book, purely because Farida has been one of my friends for many years now, and I've seen her along her publishing journey, and supporting another Black British author is what I live for. And honestly, I cannot wait to delve into this month. I cannot wait to experience and re-experience the Black student experience and how it feels to be the only Black student in a class. I mean, I feel this at uni at the moment. I'm one of the only queer Black men, if not the only queer Black man in my creative writing classes, maybe even in my English classes as well, because I go to a predominantly white university, and so it's really intriguing and really exciting to kind of hopefully relate and hopefully empathize with these characters as well. And I just feel like this is something that the world needs to read. I think that this is something that is going to be widely important in the coming years, especially with everything that's going on in the world right now. So Ace of Spades is Get Out meets Gossip Girl set in an elite private school where anonymous texter Aces begins spreading harmful rumors about the only two Black students who go there. Devon, a talented musician, and Chiamaka, a head girl, must fight not only for their reputation but for their lives as well. And so I'm really intrigued. I'm really excited. I can definitely see this being turned into like a TV show, a film already from the synopsis. Like, I can just see it being like the Pretty Little Liars that we've needed. We know how the Pretty Little Liars adaptation ended, and I just felt like that was like 7-8 years down the drain. Ace of Spades will probably, most likely, succeed because this is just amazing, and I cannot wait to delve into it. I cannot wait to support Farida even further, and this comes out in June 2021. So if you do not yet have it on your TBR lists, add it right away, because you do not want to miss out on this spectacular novel. I will definitely be doing some Bookstagram pictures, so look out for that. Although I'm currently in the process of like planning out a room redecoration, so I don't think I'll be posting on Instagram yet. It's gonna be great. I think the new room is gonna look super nice. I'm just hoping that once I fully like do my desk setup as well, which will be another video as opposed to my room decoration, it fits my monitors, but I have no idea yet. I do not know. The next book that I'll then be reading in the month of January is The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. This is the proof that Penguin UK Books sent me, and I'm highly appreciative that they did that. And then this is the UK edition with the black sprayed edges, and I just like how Karen M. McManus's novels in the UK all have sprayed edges. My friend Caitlin and I think I've said this in my December TBR video, my friend Caitlin and I love her novels. We read them and discuss them together, and I can't wait for Caitlin to read this. I think I also have a spare copy, so Caitlin, if you do not have a copy yet, please let me know. So yeah, I'm just really enjoying kind of the setup of this, and I'm just hoping that it's able to deliver, and also I'm just hoping for mine and Caitlin's sake that it is able to deliver so that we both can like continue standing this author and just how amazing her writing is. So The Cousins follows Aubrey, Millie, and Jonah Story, who receive a mysterious invitation to spend the summer at their grandmother's resort, and they're reluctantly forced to accept this invitation as their parents believe it is a way for them to get back into their inheritance after their grandmother disowned them. The children are quite curious to meet the grandmother that's behind the enigma that's been a part of all of their lives. However, as we all should know, some things are better left secret, even if they are determined to uncover them. I'm really excited to see what The Cousins offers in terms of like a thriller mystery book. I'm also really excited to just see how this is able to deliver, especially now that I'm delving more into thriller horror books. Like this month actually is quite a thrillery month. 3 of my books are thrillers. Ace of Spades is a thriller, The Cousins is a thriller, and a book later on will be a thriller. And so I'm really excited to see how this stacks up against the other 2. The next 3 books that I'll then be reading is the trilogy reading vlog that I'll be reading in the month of January, which is the Mistborn Era 1 trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. Now, Blake and a few other people have been getting me to try out Mistborn for the longest time. I told them January. It is now January and I have no escape. And this is definitely one of the series that I said in my previous video about fantasy series that I want to read in 2021. Mistborn and the entire Cosmere was one of them. And so I'm really excited to get into it and just experience the Cosmere for the very first time. I just really want to see what the fuss is all about, because I see a lot of my Cosmere mutuals tweeting things and I just don't get the jokes, and I'm like, I really want to get the jokes now. So I think it's also quite FOMO, but then also at the same time I'm just really intrigued how Brandon Sanderson's writing stacks up and why it's so heralded as like the top tier fantasy, like the next Tolkien and all of this. As someone who's like an avid fantasy reader, I feel like I do want to kind of experience Sanderson for the very first time. So I'll be reading the 3 books in the Mistborn Era 1 trilogy, The Final Empire, The Well of Ascension, and The Hero of Ages, and I am just super excited to read all 3. You can check out the reading vlog on this channel this month. If you're watching after January, hopefully it'll be up on this channel. If not, do not come after my productivity. The Final Empire basically follows Vin, a 16-year-old who discovers that she is Mistborn, someone who can wield the powers of allomancy, which is using metals to both enhance and impact their physical and mental abilities. However, Vin is then recruited by a man named Kelsier for a heist that seeks to dethrone the Lord Ruler from his seat of absolute power and absolute terror. And so through this, the world will never be the same again. Although that's quite like a brief synopsis of this novel, I think that that's all you really need to get into this, as much as I've been told. So I'm really excited to get into it. I'm really excited to see how Mistborn Era 1 stacks up. And then if I do like this book, then I'm excited to explore the whole entirety of the Cosmere later on. I mean, I was gifted Rhythm of War this Christmas by Blake, so I'm hoping that I like The Final Empire. Otherwise, that's going to be quite a doozy. Yeah. The next book that I'll then be reading in the month of January is The Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. This is going to be part of Saint Vladimir's read-along, a read-along which seeks to read all of the books in the Vampire Academy and the Bloodline series, I believe, and I'll be guest starring in the very first live show. This basically spawned from the fact that I watched the Vampire Academy film like a few months ago and was like, I really want to read the books now because I don't know whether they'll stack up against the film quite well or if it's a completely different thing. A lot of the people didn't like the film and I was like, I personally quite enjoyed it, but I hadn't read the book, so I didn't know like whether it's because I hadn't read the book or not. So I'm gonna be reading the book and I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to join the fabulous hosts of St. Vladimir's Read Along for the very first live show on January 30th. So I'll have all of that linked in the description down below for all of you so that you can come and join us as well. And I'm just really excited to read Vampire Academy because ever since the whole Twilight era, there's been like a lot of novels released with vampires and stuff, and I definitely think it's worth exploring that kind of era and seeing like kind of how literature has evolved through that era and like how we've arrived at the young adult and adult literatures that we have today. And so I'm really excited to be reading The Vampire Academy and just seeing what it's about. Like, a lot of people really like this series and a lot of people really love this series, and so I'm intrigued to see where the love and the hype comes from, and I'm intrigued like how I'll react to it specifically. So yeah. So The Vampire Academy follows Rose Hathaway, who is a Dahampia, a half Moroi, half human, who trains in St. Vladimir's Academy to work to protect the Moroi, who are the good vampires, and fight the Strigoi, who are the bad vampires. Rose's best friend is Princess Vasilisa Dragomir, who is the last of the Moroi royal bloodline, and together they share an unbreakable bond that allows them to feel each other's emotions. However, 2 years after running away from the academy, they are found by the school's guardians and are thus dragged back to the academy, where the conspiracy begins to unfold. And so I'm really excited to read this, and I'm really excited to hopefully carry on with the series if I really do like the very first book. I think if I do like the first book, I'll probably try and keep with the marathon of the read-along as well, just so I can follow along. I just think that that will be quite better for me and just better for my schedule, because this year is gonna be a doozy. Up until like April, May time, I believe. Yeah, we'll just see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I'm really excited to be reading The Vampire Academy. I'm really excited to be joining in with the live show at the end of the month. And again, I'll have that all linked down below for you. And so the final book that I'll be reading is the Late Night Book Club pick for the month of January, and that is The Shining by Stephen King. My older sister has been trying to get me to read The Shining for Stephen King for the longest time, and it's only now that I'm starting to read it, so I'm very sorry. But I'm quite excited to read it purely because I've heard a lot of good things about The Shining and a lot of good things about the way that it's set and the way that it unsettles you in some places, and so I'm really looking forward to that for this January cold read. And again, the third thriller of the month. Like, I'm really having a good time exploring thrillers this month, and I think Kayla would be very proud of me for doing so. And so I'm really excited to be reading The Shining. I'm really excited to be discussing it as it's one of Noelle's favourite books. I think that it's going to be quite fun and intriguing. So The Shining follows Danny, who is only 5 years old old. However, in the words of old Mr. Malaran, he is a shiner, a glow with psychic voltage. When his father becomes the caretaker of the Overlook Hotel, Danny's visions begin to spiral out of control, seeing things that really shouldn't exist. As winter closes in and blizzards cut them off from the rest of the world, the hotel seems to develop a life of its own. And somewhere there is an evil force within this hotel seeking to find its way out. And that too is beginning to shine. And so I am excited. I'm really excited for this book. I'm really excited to see like how like the thrillerness will unsettle me and creep me out and scare me. And so I'm really excited to be talking about this with the Late Night Book Club in a live show coming late Jan, early Feb. So I'm just really, really excited for it. And yeah, those are all the books I want to read in the month of January. I mean, we've got 10 books I want to read in the month of January, and well, 11 counting Andy LaRue, but I think that definitely it's going to be quite a doozy in trying to read all of them, especially with university starting again. However, I think I can do this. I think that it's going to be quite a nice reading month for me. Hopefully I'll be able to read everything. I'm really hopeful for this year, and let me know in the comment section down below, what are some of the books that you'll be reading in the month of January, and what is a book that you're looking forward to this year in 2021. And so yeah, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, be sure to click that subscribe button so that you're notified whenever I upload next. This week's shout out of fates goes out to all of you amazing friends on this channel. Thank you for your support of me over the past few months, and I just really, really love the fact that you share my channel with everyone and anyone, and that you just have grown such a family here, and community is definitely going to be one of the biggest things of this channel of this year. I'm thinking maybe a Fictional Fates Discord server perhaps. Let me know what you think of that. And yes, if you want to support me anywhere, I'll have my social medias linked in the description down below, and I'll also have my coffee and my Amazon wishlist just in case you want to support me any further like that. And so yeah, I guess until the next video, bye friends.